Hey Canucks fans, it is Canucks game day. The Canucks host the Minnesota Wild tonight, and I'm here to show you why the Filip Hronek trade should not be a surprise to absolutely anyone. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Thursday, March the 2nd. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. It's indeed Canucks game day. I will be going to the game with my lovely wife, Gail, so maybe we'll see you there. We're sitting in our upper bowl seats tonight in 319. And also, want to tell you thank you. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. I woke up this morning at 9986. Now we're at 9991. So I predict that sometime today we'll crest over the 10 Clay mark. And for that, I am very grateful. Stay tuned for word on a 10 Clay celebration on my YouTube show. I won't do it tonight. Tonight will be a regular Thursday night, 11 p.m. post game, so I hope you can join me tonight. The Canucks aren't having a full practice today, so we don't know what the full lineup is going to be. We know it's kind of a hodgepodge of players the last time they played, which was on Monday night, and the way they lined up that way was Pettersson between Beauvillier and Kuzmenko, and then it was like weird. There's like Amon, Joshua, and Garland, and then there's a Studnicka in there, a Ratu, and then a Kravtsov and a Podkolzin and a Dries and someone else I'm sure I'm missing. So we'll see how they line up tonight. Curtis Lazar activated off of injured reserve. So yeah, we'll see if he gets, likely, the fact that he's being activated, likely he gets in. So one of Dries, Ratu, Studnicka, one of those guys will have to sit out. And then on the other side, not on the other side, further back in the lineup on D, it was like Hughes, Myers, and then the four other guys of Wolanin, Burrows, Gilson, and Brisebois. The newly acquired Filip Hronek will not play tonight. He's still nursing a minor upper body injury, so it won't be him. But I'll be talking about him for a few minutes in a second. And then my guess is Thatcher Demko again, after playing well on Monday, and now after beating the Stars on Monday with 2 days in between games, not just one. I presume it will be Demko tonight. It could go with Demko tonight and still Demko against Toronto on Saturday. Now that you've had a night to sleep on this Filip Hronek trade, how are you feeling about it? Now, almost everyone I talk to, everyone on social media, all my hockey friends, most people, I wouldn't say it's unanimous, but most people do not like this trade. Do not like the fact that we gave away the protected first round pick for this year's draft. Don't like the way we also gave away a second. I think there's no denying that Hronek's the type of player that we've been looking for. A right shot defenseman who's young, 25 years old, cost controlled relatively, $4.4 million for the rest of the season and next season, and then he becomes a restricted free agent. So the Canucks still have club control, you could say, over him. Sure, he's going to want to raise over that $4.4 million, and but we likely have gotten now finally our number one D-man on the right side. He's better than Ethan Bear, definitely better than Myers. And so he already elevates, by acquiring him, he's our second highest scoring defenseman behind Hughes, probably our second best defenseman behind Quinn Hughes. And I talked about this last night on my live stream. He's analytically, what can I say that word? Analytically this year, he's been awesome. Great defensive stats, really good offensive stats, wins above replacement, all of those things. So this is a guy with a heavy shot. He's creative with the puck. So this is a really, really good player. But you can say he's a really good player and still say, wow, I wish we didn't give up so much for him, especially that protected first round pick, that top 12 protected that we got from the Islanders in the Bo Horvat trade. Because who knows what happens if it gets protected this year, i.e. the Islanders are in the bottom 12, and then it's unpredicted for 2024. It could be a lottery pick. I know there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts there, but there's still that potential that you worry about. Or you could go the other way, and this is kind of what I'm getting at. I'm not necessarily defending the trade, but I try and not just be positive, and that doesn't mean defend every single thing the Canucks do, but at least try and give an optimistic outlook. And if we agree that this is the type of player that we've been pining for the last few years, a number one right shot D-man after Chris Tanev left. Okay, so let's say we haven't had a number one right shot D in the past 3 seasons. So now we have that player. My bigger point today is not to try and convince you that the trade is good or bad. My bigger point is to try and show you and demonstrate that this should not be a surprise at all. This is exactly what Rutherford and Allvin said they were going to do. Remember, they said that they were going to do major surgery. Then remember, they said that they were going to get players in their young to mid 20s who can help this team. And remember, they didn't use the term rebuild at all. They used the term retool. Now, I'd say the trades leading up to this point, the Horvat, Beauvillier, Ratu, and the first, and then trading away Lockwood and a seventh for Kravtsov, then obtaining Josh Bloom for Riley Stillman, and then that third round pick for Luke Shen. You could say all four of those deals were kind of rebuild type deals where the players that you're getting, with the exception of Kravtsov, might not, because the rest are draft picks and prospects, might not help for 2, 3, 4 years down the road. And I think a lot of Canucks fans, the majority of Canucks fans, were happy with that. But then with this Hronek trade, then it becomes, okay, it's certainly not a rebuild. This is a retool. This is a move designed the Canucks to help win now, or more realistically, starting next year. You might say, well, that doesn't make sense. It kind of flies in the face of the other 4 trades we made, and I hate giving away that first round pick, potentially. I mean, that lottery protected first round pick, top 12 first round pick. I agree. But if you look at, in particular, I'm just looking at the 3 guys of Hughes, Pettersson, and Demko. If you argue that they're the core of the team and that they're in their primes right now, I think this whole major surgery / retool speaks to the Canucks wanting to win sooner as opposed to later, as frustrating as that may be for Canucks fans who want a true rebuild, because you have to look at those 3 players, the core, and say, well, are they going to be happy if we do a complete rebuild and we're not winning for 3 or 4 years down the road, i.e. those draft picks that might take that long, versus players that can help right now. You look at Pettersson, he's got 1 more year left on his contract after the season. You can start negotiating a new extension with him starting this season. So will he want to stick around if we're trading away all of our players and all we're getting are prospects and draft picks back who aren't going to make a difference for 3 or 4 years? How keen would he be to sign an extension? Whereas at least now you're making at least some commitment to saying, okay, we want to try and win now. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is what I think the Canucks are thinking. Quinn Hughes, he's in only his first year of a 6-year deal. So he still has 5 seasons after this. Aren't we going to want him to? Okay, so he's the one, I guess, where his contract is a bit longer, where he'd still be around 3 or 4 years from now for sure under contract. So maybe he's got the least amount of say, or you worry about him the least. And then Demko, similarly, he's in the 2nd year of a 5-year contract, so he has 3 more seasons after this. Having said that, then you can see why the Canucks want to win sooner as opposed to later. To take it, I think the biggest key here is Petey, trying to keep him happy so you can sign him to an extension, and then still, Demko's only got 3 years left on his contract. If he's prime Demko now, you want to be able to compete in these next 3 years, and then Hughes is a little bit longer than that, as opposed to only having draft picks and prospects who might not, blossom until 3 or 4 years from now. Then Demko is on his way out. Hughes is near the end of his current contract, and you might not even have PD to be around. So again, not justifying the trade completely, but I am trying to say we shouldn't be surprised, even though the previous 4 trades seem to be going against this trend, because they've always talked about retooling as opposed to rebuilding, and they did talk about major surgery and trading away a 1st and a 2nd for a number 1 right shot D-man. I'd say that it counts as major surgery. So Canucks fans, let me know what you think. It might not change your opinion on the trade, but I'd love to know if you agree with me that this shouldn't have been a surprise, given all that we know of what Allvin and Rutherford have said, and given how much we know that Rutherford likes to wheel and deal. Let me know your thoughts. Also, give me a score prediction and first Canucks goal scorer. I'm going Canucks win because I'm there. And let's go 3-1 Canucks. Defensive battle tonight. 3-1 Canucks with Pettersson scoring the first goal for the team. Give me your predictions as well. Shout out to my sponsors, Vancity Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform Personal Training Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members, and thanks to all of you. I appreciate you, always appreciate you, never take you for granted. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now and get me over the 10K mark today. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership if you'd like to, and leave a comment down below. Score prediction, first Canucks goal scorer, and your thoughts on this trade now that you've had a night to sleep on it. Stay safe, stay healthy, Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Enjoy the day and enjoy the Canucks game. God bless, and go Canucks go.